YouTube, what's good? Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today I have the top perks that you guys need to be using in Warzone and when you should be using them. In total, you should be getting about 3 loadouts every single game. You should be buying your first loadout at the start of the game, and then when the second circle comes, you get the free loadout, and then when the 5th circle comes, you get another free loadout. And at every one of those loadouts, you should be taking different perks, and that's what we're going to be going over today. You guys are definitely going to want to stay around for the whole video so you can see all 3 sets of the perks that we're going to use throughout the game. All the perks I'm going to be giving you guys today will help you be most effective for each part of the game and hopefully help you come up with the win at the end. If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video or find it useful, definitely drop a like down below and subscribe for some more Warzone content just like this. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the top perks that you need to be using in Warzone right now. So with the first loadout that you guys are going to be buying, you're going to want to take Double Time, Overkill, and then Amp. Now the reason you're taking these 3 perks are because these are the perfect perks in order to help you push a team, especially early in the game. So here's the reasons why they are the best perks you should be running at the beginning of the game. Double Time, for those of you that don't know, increases the duration of tac sprint, which helps you run a lot quicker and just move around the map a lot faster in general. So this is something you're definitely going to want, especially if you want to buy your loadout very quickly, because you're going to be able to run after teams that don't have the loadouts and just absolutely melt them before they even knew what hit them. So for perk 2, we're obviously going to be using Overkill. For those of you that don't know what Overkill does, it essentially just gives you the opportunity to use 2 primary weapons. Now with this, you can take any 2 weapons you want, but I definitely recommend you take a gun that's good at long range and one that's good for short range. Now it's definitely very important that you do go on to take Overkill at your first loadout, because most likely it's going to be the only opportunity for you to take Overkill. Now for our perk 3, we're going to be using Amped. For those of you that don't know what it does, it makes you switch your guns faster. This may not sound very useful to you, but I can assure you that it is probably one of the most useful perks in the game that you can be using. It's definitely most effective when you least expect someone to be there and you have to change your gun very quickly and you're able to. So these 3 perks are the ones that you're definitely going to want to start the game with after your first loadout, and like I said, if you don't grab Overkill with this first loadout that you buy, there is a good chance you're not going to be able to take it again if you want to play the most effective way through the game. So I definitely recommend that you do. So moving on to our second loadout that comes in at roughly 15 seconds before the first circle closes, these are the perks you're going to want to take. So for perk 1, we're taking Double Time again because this is still early in the game and you're still going to need this to get around the map fairly quickly. For perk number 2, we're taking Ghost, and for perk number 3, we're taking Amped again as well. Now Double Time is still good because you're still pushing teams and you're also rotating to circle. Now for perk 2 though, this is the time that you're going to want to Ghost up. At our first loadout, we already took our 2 guns that we wanted to use for the whole game. So essentially what we're going to want to do is, as soon as we take our Ghost class, we're just going to pick up our guns that we originally took at our first loadout, and we're still going to have Ghost, but we're going to be using our original guns that we wanted to use. For those of you that don't know what Ghost does, it is very useful. It keeps you off UAVs and also heartbeat sensors. This helps with staying stealthy, and it also avoids other teams from knowing where you are, so you're less likely to die. And then finally, for our perk number 3, we are running Amped again because, as I said, switching guns very quickly definitely comes in handy through the game. So like with our first loadout and taking Overkill, if you don't go on to take Ghost at the second loadout, it will most likely be the only opportunity that you have to take it if you're looking to follow this very effective way of using your perks through a game. Now the reason I say you will most likely not be able to take these perks again is because to buy a loadout is $10,000 and you only get 2 free ones a game. So if you're not using them effectively, most likely you're not going to be able to buy one again because coming up on 10,000 isn't too common, and you're also going to want to start spending that money on UAVs and even self-res. So definitely keep that in mind. So moving on to our third loadout and what perks you're going to be taking. Again, this is the loadout that comes during the 5th circle, so it's pretty late. So the 3 perks you're going to be taking are EOD, Restock, and Amped, and here's why. You're definitely going to want to take EOD because the circle is a lot smaller now and you're not going to need Double Time or anything to rotate, and there's going to be a lot of grenades thrown at you and you're going to need that extra protection to survive. So definitely overall, EOD is going to be very useful for you in the final zone, so I definitely recommend you take it. So for perk number 2, we're taking Restock. For those of you that don't know what it does, it replenishes your stuns and grenades. Now I know some of you may be thinking, why are we taking Restock and not sticking with Ghost? The reason for that is because the circle is already fairly small and a lot of people are already going to know where you are. So having the ability to keep getting more stuns and grenades at this point in the game is going to become very useful to you. So Restock is definitely the move when it comes down to that 5th circle loadout. And finally, for our third perk, we're running Amped again. This is when Amp becomes very useful because you're a lot closer with your opponents and you're going to be switching your guns a lot more as well. Something to note right now in Warzone, as about of a week ago we received the mid-season 3 update, and that added the ability for us to get the specialist bonus. For those of you that don't know what it is, it gives you every single perk in the game for the whole Warzone game, and it is very useful. The way you earn it is going to downtown to the largest building in the middle and completing one of those 3 yellow contracts around it, and the contract is just like a normal scav. You just have to open 3 crates, and with the last crate you get get a vault key. With that vault key, you go up to the 31st floor, I believe, and you can open the vault, and then within that vault, you're able to open up a smaller safe, and that's the thing that drops a specialist bonus for your whole team. It is definitely very chaotic because a lot of teams always go for it every single game, but if you're able to complete it, it is worth it. But overall, these are the 9 perks that you're going to want to take every single game when you hit each of the 3 loadouts. All the perks that I gave you today are definitely the ideal perks to help you play most effectively through each part of the game, so I definitely recommend that you give them all a go. With all that being said, guys, if you did go on to enjoy today's video or found it useful, definitely drop a like down below and subscribe for some more Warzone content and tips and tricks just like this. With all of that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.